Roy Ayers was an American vibraphonist, record producer, and composer. Ayers began his career as a post-bop jazz artist, releasing several studio albums with Atlantic Records, before his tenure at Polydor Records beginning in the 1970s, during which he helped pioneer jazz funk. Born September 10, 1940, Los Angeles, California, United States. Died March 4, 2025. Age 84 years. Genre jazz. Children Roy Ayers Jr. Spouse Augury Ayers, M. 1973. Roy Ayers' net worth $10 million. Biography. Early life. Ayers was born on September 10, 1940, in Los Angeles. He grew up in a musical family, where his father played trombone and his mother played piano. At the age of 5, he was given his first pair of vibraphone mallets by Lionel Hampton. The area of Los Angeles that Ayers grew up in, South Park, later known as South Central, was at the center of the Southern California black music scene. He attended Thomas Jefferson High School that formed a formative part of the Central Avenue jazz scene. During high school, Ayers sang in the church choir and fronted a band named the Latin Lyrics, in which he played steel guitar and piano. His high school, Thomas Jefferson High School, produced various talented musicians such as Dexter Gordon. Ayers had 3 children. Personal life. Ayers married his wife Augury in the early 1970s, and together they had 3 children. He also had a son, the writer Nabil Ayers, from an earlier relationship. His daughter Ayanna had also been managing him recently until his death. Ayers died on March 4, 2025 in New York City, at the age of 84 after suffering from a long illness. Career. Ayers started recording as a bebop sideman in 1962. In 1963, he released his debut studio album West Coast Vibes, featuring a collaboration with the saxophonist Curtis Amy. He rose to prominence when he dropped out of Los Angeles City College and joined jazz flautist Herbie Mann in 1966. In the early 1970s, Ayers formed his own band called Roy Ayers Ubiquity, a name he chose because ubiquity means a state of being everywhere at the same time. Ayers was responsible for the highly regarded soundtrack to Jack Hill's 1973 blaxploitation film Coffee, which starred Pam Grier. He played Elgin in Idaho Transfer the same year. He later moved from a jazz-funk sound to R&B, as heard on Mystic Voyage, 1975, which featured the songs Evolution and the underground disco hit Brother Green, the Disco King, as well as the title track from his studio album Everybody Loves the Sunshine, 1976. In 1977, Ayers produced an album by the group Ramp, Come Into Knowledge. That fall, he had his biggest hit with Running Away. In late 1979, Ayers scored his only top 10 single on Billboard's Hot Disco/Dance chart with Don't Stop the Feeling, which was also the lead-off single from his studio album No Stranger to Love, 1980, whose title track was sampled in Jill Scott's 2000 song Watching Me, from her debut studio album Who is Jill Scott? Words and Sounds Volume 1. In the late 1970s, Ayers toured Nigeria for 6 weeks with Afrobeat innovator Fela Kuti, one of Africa's most recognizable musicians. In 1980, Phonodisc released music of many colors in Nigeria, featuring one side led by Ayers Group and the other led by Africa 70. In 1981, Ayers produced a studio album for the singer Sylvia Striplin, Give Me Your Love, Uno Melodic Records, 1981. That same year, he released his own studio album called Africa, Center of the World on Polydor Records, along with James Bedford and Ayers' bassist William Henry Allen. Allen can be heard talking to his daughter on the track, Intro, /The River Niger. The album was recorded at the Sigma Sound Studios, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In 1984, he released the studio album In the Dark, released by Columbia Records and produced by bassist Stanley Clarke. The album produced the 12-inch single release called Love Is in the Feel, which, along with other tracks on the album, promoted the use of a lindrum, an instrument which gained enormous popularity amongst pop and jazz-funk musicians from 1982 to 1985. At this time, Ayers' music was promoted extensively by the UK BBC Radio 1 disc jockey, DJ Robbie Vincent. Ayers performed a solo on John Jellybean Benitez's production of Whitney Houston's Love Will Save the Day, from her second multi-platinum studio album Whitney. The single was released in July 1988 by Ayers Records. Ayers has played his live act for millions of people across the globe, including Japan, Australia, England, and other parts of Europe. Ayers is known for helping to popularize feel-good music in the 1970s, stating that, "I like that happy feeling all of the time, so that ingredient is still there. I try to generate that because it's the natural way I am." This is continually reflected throughout his musical output, whether it be funk, salsa, jazz, rock, soul, and hip-hop.